Liverpool Player Rating versus Arsenal. Alisson Becker, I would rate him a 7.0. He didn't really have much to do, but when he was called upon, he really did deliver. He really did well parrying Madueke's ball to corner kick. Virgil van Dijk, this guy is phenomenal for Liverpool. The way he has been all season, so far so good. You could see his diagonal balls were causing Arsenal problems. Most times, whenever he throws his diagonal ball, the defense is already switched off. And Salah did try with the ball, but most of the time, Salah couldn't do much with the ball because that's down to Salah himself. But Van Dijk really did everything possible to make sure Liverpool kept clean sheet. So I would rate him a 7.5. Ibrahima Konate, I've been criticizing him in past few games because of how erratic he has been in those few games. But in this game, he was very solid. He was very solid on the ball. He looked more confident, more composed on the ball. He won more area duel in this game and he was up for it in terms of the duel. He gave Gyökeres a serious hard time. I could see some of his jinking runs to the front. He really did well in this game. I'll rate him a 7.0. Kekes, wow, this guy is massive. He gave Madueke serious problems. Madueke being the brightest Arsenal star in the first half of the game, Keke stuck with him everywhere he goes. He found it very difficult to beat Kekes, and a few times, even when he tried to actually did beat him, Kekes was still there to block his shots. And even when Dalman came in, the highly rated Arsenal winger, see the way he dealt with him easily. This guy, I would rate him a solid 8.0 because he did fantastically well at the back. Dominik Szoboszlai on the right wing. What else can we say about this guy? What else? Even before he scored the free kick, he has been very good for Liverpool this season. From the beginning of the season, the first game against Bournemouth, the game against Newcastle, and now against Arsenal, he has really excelled in that right back position. With the fact that he's playing out of position and he's still giving us these solid performances, I would rate him a solid 8.0. Let alone talking about his fantastic and beautifully struck free kick. Ryan Gravenberch really did his duties. Although in the first half of the game himself, he wasn't too assured. He was bullied. The way Arsenal held down the middle of the park, he was not really that influential in the first half of the game. But immediately Liverpool came on to the second half. We could see him everywhere coming to receive the ball, and we could see some his signature turns and turnings, and then he really did well in the middle of the park. I would rate him a 7.0. McAllister. In this game, McAllister was very erratic in this game. Mistimed tackles, sloppy passes, and he could be forgiven because he's just coming back from injury into the first 11. In the last game, he was absent, and in this game, he actually played, but then he was very erratic. His passes were off, his tackles were off, so I would rate him a 6.0. Mo Salah. Salah did improve in this game in comparison to the last two games we played, but then even at that, he only came to life in towards like probably the last 20 minutes of the game, and then that was when we started seeing him dribbling Calafiori in and out. But it was not really the same Salah we saw last season, because the larger part of the game it was silent. It was kept really quiet by Calafiori and any other Arsenal defenders, and you can't really blame him to an extent in that game because Gabriel was on him, Calafiori was on him so I would rate Salah a 6.5 in this game. Cody Gakpo, he really did try. There isn't much to talk about him in this game. He tried to show some class, some flair. He had a shot himself, but then the shot was wide. There isn't really much to talk about him in this game. So I would rate him a 7.0 because he kept everything ticking. He didn't make any mistake, and then he just couldn't get it go. So I rate him a 7.0. Florian Wirtz. He also improved in this game in comparison to the last two games he played, and he also came alive in the game, like towards the last 20 to 30 minutes of the game. Same time Salah came to life in that game, and then we started seeing him. He was winning more duels. his passes were becoming more accurate and a lot of things. So I would rate him a 7.0 because he really did improve towards the end of the game. We hope that this improvement will continue in the next game. Hugo Ekitike. In the first half, he was largely anonymous, and we can't really blame him because the first half was overrun by Arsenal team, and Hugo Ekitike kept running and pressing. He was relentless in his first half pressing. And his physicality really gave Gabriel and any one of them, all of Arsenal's defenders, problems. So I would rate him a 7.0 in this game. He didn't score, but he did score, but it was ruled out by VAR. Overall team performance, I would rate the overall team performance is 7.5 based on the second half. If it were to be rated based on the first half, it would have been like maybe 4.0, 4 over 10 because we didn't play nothing in the first half. And then I would rate Slot himself a 6.0 in this game because the first half was terrible, but the second half they came out to fight and they won.